Welcome to my kitchen. Hi everyone. This is one of those random recipes that's an oldie and a goodie. I've been making this since the mid-90s. Chicken stuff. No lie. I knew if we were having this for dinner, there would be no arguments. One of my kids' favorite dinners and my favorite leftovers. This feeds a family of 4 and lunch for 2 adults the next day. Now, by no means is this super healthy, but it is a well-rounded meal with veggies and a great protein. And relatively inexpensive if you can get everything on sale. The total cost was just under $20. This makes 6 servings and was more than enough food. There's 729 calories in a serving, which is a little high, but definitely worth it. 73 grams of protein and 18 grams of fat. It comes together in about 20 minutes and takes about an hour to cook. This would be a great meal to get the kids involved too. We start with the stuffing, and I just follow the directions on the box. While we're waiting for the water to boil, we can go ahead and get our chicken ready. So I was able to get the chicken breasts on sale. It was $2.69 a pound. And I'm using 3 large chicken breasts for this, and I just cut them in half. Package was about 3.5 pounds. If you wanted to use different parts of the chicken, that would be fine too. You could use chicken tenders or chicken thighs. I would just make sure you use anywhere from 3 to 4 pounds of chicken. I also like to dry them off a little bit. I want the salt and pepper to stick to them. Now I salt and pepper both sides of the chicken pieces. Then the spices will go on just one side further down the line. I didn't want a lot of seasoning in this dish, especially if you're going to be cooking for the kids. Sometimes more mild is better. When I came up with this dish, it was really a godsend. My kids could be a little picky when it comes to their veggies, but this was a hit with everybody. It's full of flavor and very filling. It hits all those comfort feels too. It also heats up great in the microwave. Perfect leftover for lunch. The cost was really helpful too. A great meal to have on hand. I've never tried before, but boneless pork chops would work in this dish too. And you could use the pork flavored stuffing mix also. I'm sure you could come up with any number of combinations of meat and veggies for a delicious meal. Different soups and cheeses too. I'm sure that there's an endless number of choices. Let me know what you come up with. I'm always open to try something new. Now, our water's ready, so let's go ahead and add the stuffing mix. Make sure you give it a good stir and put the lid on it and let it set. This stuffing is ready in no time. It only takes about 5 minutes and then it's ready to use. Another good thing is there's plenty of flavor in this stuffing mix, so there's no need to have a lot of extra spices. And again, you could use any combination of stuffing flavors with different meats and veggies. This is just simply a delicious meal. Sometimes dinner just needs to be easy, and when everybody loves it, that's definitely a bonus. Side note, I would not try stuffing from scratch, because the cooking times will be a little bit off, and you don't want to cook your chicken too long because it will dry out and get chewy. While the stuffing is setting up, we can go ahead and get our soup ready. I'll put the soup in a measuring cup because it does make it a little bit easier to pour it. I just use a half a can of water and mix it up until it's nice and smooth. You just want it to pour over the top of the chicken. You don't want it to run down the sides or anything, so you don't want it too thin. You want to have a nice thick sauce so it stays right on top of the chicken breast and helps protect them while they're cooking. Okay, our stuffing is ready. We can go ahead and get everything assembled. I'm going to use a 9x13 baking dish that's about 2 inches deep. If you have something a little bit bigger, it might be nice. I didn't bother to grease the dish. It already has enough butter in it from the stuffing mix, so nothing should stick at all. Now everything's ready. Let's go ahead and make some room on the counter so we can get this assembled. Set your oven at 350 degrees. I wouldn't set it any higher than this because you don't want your chicken to dry out. Basically, everything else is cooked except the chicken, and you want it to cook it slow and steady. And we don't want the cheese to brown too quickly either. The next steps are super simple. Spread the stuffing mix evenly at the bottom of the pan. Next, the frozen veggies. If you want your veggies to be a little bit softer for little ones, I would microwave them for 2 or 3 minutes with a couple of tablespoons of water before you spread them on top of the stuffing. I like my veggies to have a little bit of texture, so I'm using them right out of the bag. Spread them out a nice even level, and then we can add our chicken pieces on top. When you add the chicken pieces, push them down slightly. This will help keep the sides of the chickens covered and protect it while it's cooking so it doesn't dry out. Once the pieces are on top of the veggies, then we can add some of our extra seasonings. Not too much, just a little bit of poultry seasoning and a little bit of granulated garlic. This will add just a little bit of flavor to the chicken. Next comes our soup. And pour the soup over the chicken pieces and get everything covered. And this is why you don't want it too runny. And last is the cheddar cheese. And again, this is something you can switch up according to which meat and veggies that you choose. I like cheddar cheese with the chicken because it is a little bit stronger than a Swiss cheese or a provolone cheese. If you use the pork instead of the chicken, a Swiss cheese or provolone cheese would be nice with that. Or even a mixture of cheeses would be great. I put the baking dish on a baking sheet to keep the oven clean. This baked for 55 minutes. I did use a meat thermometer to check. It should read at least 165 degrees. When it's done and the house smells amazing, it's dinner time. This recipe has definitely stood the test of time. Every once in a while, my kids will tell me they've had chicken stuff for dinner, and their kids love it too. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I hope you give it a try. Let me know if you have any questions. Don't forget to like and subscribe. For a copy of the complete recipe, go check out my Patreon page.